flyers hoping to find 4-year-old Maleah Davis. There's been no sign of her since Friday when her stepfather claims they were kidnapped by 3 men near Bush Airport. But he says he and his son were let go the next day in Sugar Land. Houston police releasing new photos of the stepfather's car today, the one he says the kidnappers stole.
But in order to explain what happened, we have to reveal some family issues, some allegations of abuse. And we are sharing this information not to point a finger at one person or try to influence public opinion, but to be transparent about what we've learned and to answer a question you've been asking. Here's investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes with what she discovered.
You can't deny the pure joy that jumps off of 4-year-old Maleah's face in the pictures that have been in the public eye since her disappearance. Those were perhaps the happier days. Court records we uncovered paint a darker picture of the little girl's life over the last several months. Documents we obtained from the Harris County clerk show that last August, the Department of Family and Protective Services received a report alleging physical abuse and neglectful supervision of Maleah. She was living with her mother, Brittany Bowens, and stepfather, Darian Vance, at the time. The state got involved after Maleah's mother brought her to the hospital with a head injury. Doctors had to do surgery to remove half of her skull. When Maleah got out of ICU, doctors ordered that she wear a helmet for 12 to 24 months while she healed. But that was not Maleah's first trip to the ER. According to records, 3 weeks earlier on July 10th, Bowens took Maleah to the ER after she was throwing up blood. Doctors reported Maleah was extremely lethargic. Maleah was treated and sent home. The very next week, on July 28th, Maleah was back in the hospital for a cut to her forehead. Medical professionals reported she had blood just outside of her brain. Neither parent was able to tell doctors what could have caused it. Bowens said she was hurt after falling from a chair, but medical professionals said that would not have caused the serious internal injuries. Doctors reported they were concerned about abuse, but in the end, the court found they could not confirm whether or not those injuries were caused by abuse. The CPS caseworker noted she had reason to believe there was neglectful supervision on Brittany Bowens' part, but nothing more. Child Protective Services has had temporary custody of Maleah since August, but they confirm she and her siblings were placed with a relative in February. The court ordered that Maleah's parents take a parenting class. According to those records, neither has done so.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again. Hit you with a video. Now, this video is an update to the Maleah Davis story coming out of Houston, Texas. And big shout out to everybody in Houston, Texas. Everybody in the great state of Texas also. And everybody who is searching for this child and putting the word out there on the street, this child is missing, and also sharing their beliefs of what happened. Even though some people don't believe those beliefs are truth, but some of these beliefs hold a lot of truth, whether we want to believe it or not. Now, recently, the mom, Miss Bowens, she went and met with Cornell X. And for those of you who are familiar with Cornell X, he's a highly respectable man out of Houston, Texas. He's a member of the Nation of Islam, under the tutelage of Minister Louis Farrakhan, And also, he's well respected. I have respect for Mr. Cornell X also. So this is no video throwing shots at him because he's innocent in this story to me. But the truth still must be told regardless who says it. Now, once again, this is with all due respect. I just read between the lines what people say. Now, when this story first came out, it was alleged that the stepdad, Darian Vance, was on his way to the airport, to Bush Intercontinental Airport, to pick up his fiancee, Miss Bowens. And this happened about around 5 p.m. So as he's driving down 59 and Greens Road, he says at first, or the news says, whichever one put it out there first, that it was 2 Hispanic men that got out of a truck and approached him. But then it got changed to 3 Mexican men got out of a truck and approached him. And what struck me so odd about the whole thing is that one of them said, as they looked at Maleah, and you got to understand, the Nissan Altima they had tinted windows in them. So if somebody pulled behind you, how can they see somebody inside of your car? Because Maleah and the son, who they said was 1-year-old, but I think he's 2-year-old now, how could you see those children in the car from that distance? You know what I'm saying? Under tinted windows. And how can you tell if it was a little girl? I mean, how can you see that good to describe it and says that she looked nice and sweet? So that's kind of throwing some bait out there. What I mean by throwing bait, letting you to believe that this child was sexually kidnapped for sexual reasons, for perverted reasons, if you will. Now you have to be careful of when people throw words out there, because the words is what would trap you. So remember that. So he says that allegedly that these men got out of the truck and they see Maleah. All of a sudden they attacked him. Why would he let a man get that close to the car where they could see his children, which one of them was his biological child? I think the son is 2 years old, and also Maleah being the stepdaughter. How would a man let somebody get that close to the car? Well, number one, your children in there. Whether you care about Maleah or not, you still have your son in there, who evidently you cared about, because I never heard of him getting beat. I never seen a picture of him getting beat. But lo and behold, they said that they jumped him, knocked him out, and everything after he put up a fight. The only thing he had on his face was a scratch. And I didn't see no knots. I didn't see no May knots or whatever. And I explained to you all last time what a May knot means. A May knot is a knot on your head or on your ass that may not ever go away. That's all a May knot is. So allegedly they put him in the truck, and I don't know what person get kidnapped along with their children, but they let you go and they let your 2-year-old son go, but they keep the child who's basically almost handicapped because of her brain injuries, of her head injuries and trauma that she took to her body. You might be saying, well, Trey, how did she get those injuries? Due to the fact that allegedly that she was falling off a chair. She was basically, as they want us to believe, being clumsy. But as I seen the pictures, it was a little deeper. I said, no, it's something else going on with this. And you see the pictures, you can go up and look at them on Twitter and stuff. I can't put them up here because I don't want to show that child beating that bad. This child was swole the hell up. And I'm going to say this right here. Everybody failed that child. The mom failed the child. The biological dad failed the child. You might say, well, Trey, what the biological dad got to do with it? He didn't hurt her. He hurt her by not being there in her life. Now, whatever situation going on with him where he wasn't able to take care of his child, because trust me, if he was in a position to take care of his child in the state of Texas, after that child was taken away from that family several times, they would have let him keep his own child if he was, I don't know, his living conditions, his arrangement, or whatever. I'm just saying, if he was in a better position, his child, he probably could have saved his child from going through that. Not saying he could have saved his child from this, what ultimately happened, because what's meant to be is going to be. I hope you all understand that. So what I'm saying, everybody failed a child. And also the mom, if she did sit up here and allegedly let the stepdad beat the child, but the mom recently made a post. Remember, she called everybody out that he was such a good guy and everything. So matter of fact, we'll get to that in a second. So they dropped him off right in Sugarland, which ironically, they didn't drop him off in Pearland. They didn't drop him off in they didn't drop him off in Pasadena. They didn't drop him off in Galveston. I mean, right there in your own neighborhood. That's so convenient. But it's also seen on surveillance tape that they seen the car driving out of Sugarland around 3 p.m. So who was driving the car out of Sugarland around 3 p.m.? And also, they recently found the car in Missouri City, what we call Mo City, and at some rental car shop. And they said a lady that was going in Family Dollar seeing these cars. But as you driving down the highways or in the roads, whether you're on West Time or whether you're on Bissnet or whatever, in the businesses, you can pretty much see because it's kind of flat. It's not like it's hilly or whatever else. So you can see. So you mean to tell me you got an APB, you got all points bulletin out on this Nissan Altima, and all these police, controlling the police in Texas, they looking for you. They got your name right there on the damn dash, damn it, not your name, your picture in your name. So you mean to tell me all these cops, and this one of the number one stories in the country, the whole country now, you mean they gonna tell me they gonna just bypass this car up and all of a sudden the lady, not saying it couldn't happen, but still, though, what are the chances of that happening? She walks into Family Dollar and she happens to glance over there and see this Nissan Altima that all these police failed to find and recognize. But anyway, so Cornell X and Miss Bowens, they did pretty much a news conference together, and he was basically saying there was some more things that need to be said that came out. And it's like this, why didn't it already come out? Why do it take people having to point the finger at you? The mom, not Cornell. Cornell have nothing to do with it. He was just basically speaking up for Miss Bowens. That's what he do. So we're not talking about him. But why would it take people looking at you and asking, well, why did you let this go on? What was really going on for you to sit up here and go a little extra further. And also, where are all the tears at? Only thing I seen was just somebody covering their face with their hands and just shaking, just moving their shoulder. That's all I seen from the whole press conference. Now, I'm speaking like this. I also hope, for her sake, you know what I'm saying, that she did not have anything to do with her daughter. But they also said that recently, and I don't know why they didn't go back and check the place at first, because you would think the first thing that you would go back and do is check the residence and check the surrounding area around their residence. Why did nobody see a camera right there? Why did nobody say, even investigators, law enforcement, even family friends, if you got a camera right there, and do you want to see when the person left the house or whatnot? Why does it take almost a week to realize that? And for the neighbors them allegedly to come out and say, well, we got footage of him leaving the house with a laundry basket, with a trash bag and some bleach, making you think that he was cleaning up a bloody mess. That's what the bleach for. Not saying that he wasn't, but that's what it's for. Now, shouldn't that have came out earlier? So you got to watch things like that when people throw them at you, because notice when you get closer to the source, more things start coming out. So evidently, I found it ironic that around the same time that the mom is heading back to Houston on a flight from a funeral. Remember, funeral, cold word funeral. The dad is on his way to get there, and all of a sudden, one of the children coming up missing, and allegedly, that might be a funeral. And I mean by allegedly, that is yet to be seen. So isn't that quite ironic? So is it a code you're using on us? What the hell is up? But one thing about it, just because they have people come speak beside them, I don't care who it is. I have my own mind. I think for myself, and you should all too. Don't believe everything somebody say. Don't believe everything I say. Don't believe everything no other blogger, no other whoever say. Do your own research and study and show your own self-approval. But anyway, now I don't normally read anything from the Shade Room, but they had a very few interesting things. So I'm gonna read a snippet from the Shade Room story, and we're gonna dive just a little deeper into this just for a second. Now, it says the mother of a missing 4-year-old girl, Houston girl, alleges her ex-fiance had something to do with the disappearance. Pause right there. Now, she said that she thinks he had something to do with the disappearance, but didn't the mom say this right here on a post? She says, and Darian, as you all can see, this is her writing, and Darian stepped in and helped me raise my kids. Anybody who knows him knows he has a heart of gold. Now, do this sound like somebody? I'm not taking it from Darian. I'm just saying what the mama said when she was trying to paint the picture, like he was so innocent at first. And everybody caught hold of that. And big shout out to you all who caught hold of that when you seen how she wrote this. And she was more worried about Darian than she was her own daughter. But she says, Darian stepped in and helped me raise my kids. Anybody who knows him knows he has a heart of gold. I don't care what anyone has to say. My family is being spiritually attacked. Attacked by who? This sounds like an attack from within. When I wanted the Amber Alert to take place, they didn't want to do it. What you mean they don't want to do it? I don't understand. What you mean they don't want to do that? Make that make sense. Who did you tell about this? And why can't you give no names? Because I guarantee you, if you done called on people and your child is missing, they didn't put out no Amber Alert, their ass would be in the sling. They would be fired. Give us some names. Give us some receipts, like these bloggers say. Anyway, she said, until my baby boy and Darian showed up at the hospital and realized Maleah wasn't there. How did he not realize Maleah wasn't there? These are her words. When he was woke up on side the road hours later, slipping in and out of consciousness for 24 hours, woke up on side of a road, and it took him 5 hours to walk 1 mile to the hospital. And everybody knows in Sugar Land, they got gas stations and houses. People will welcome you in, especially if you were a child. And also, when he came into the hospital, like he had a white shirt on. Why ain't your white shirt dirty? Where's the blood at? I mean, your son didn't have to use the bathroom or anything like that. You didn't have to get no pamper or anything. It's just so much you can throw out there. But anyway, we'll let that ride. Let's continue what she said. Then we get back to the Shade Room story. Now, she goes and says that he arrived at the hospital and realized Maleah wasn't there. Why would he have to get to the hospital and realize that when he was in the truck with Maleah and he woke up on side of the road? So he already knew, unless the kidnappers pretty much dropped Maleah off. And that's the case, why even robbed him in the first place and allegedly, robbed him and take the child if you're going to just throw the dad out, the son, and then drop the girl off at the hospital. Maybe they were trying to save the girl. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make sense. She says also, now you want to put out Amber Alerts and do all this other crap, but when we were concerned about my family, everyone took the shit lightly, and we could have been found Maleah. But you weren't saying that when somebody was beating this girl ass. Let's just be real. You wasn't saying that when this child showed up all swole up and everything. Now you want to cover your own ass, because really that's what you're doing. And it's also said that they can't even find this stepdad, this ex-fiance or whatever. They can't find him now all of a sudden. How convenient is that? But anyway, she also says, for those who are creating search parties, thank you so much. And I mean that in the most sincere way. It's too many to respond to. Who says that about their own child? It's too many to respond to. You would just thank them. Period. That somebody give a damn enough about yours, because you ain't out there searching for them. Shit. That they would go out there and put their life on the line and their time and you know what I'm saying, likelihood on the line just for your child. And she also says, it's too many that won't respond to, but I'm truly am grateful for the amount of love and support you guys have given me in these trying times. These are memories y'all need to see. Memories means somebody's gone or died or something. But then, when she first started it off, this is what she said right here. She says, the media is really pissing me off. I read this last time. I'm just making a point. She said, the media is really pissing me off with how they are portraying Darian. That's the key right there. I want to say right there. And how dare you get your ass up on here on this camera, fake all this crying and everything, when you sit up here knowing this child was beaten, whether you done it or whether Darian done it. But you get up here and says, the media is really pissing me off with how they are portraying Darian. Everybody wants to be a detective. What you mean everybody wants to be a detective? If that was my child, I wouldn't give a damn who do the video. I wouldn't give a damn as long as you be respectful about my child and put the image out there. Because you just might be the one to bring my child home. Come on now, you can't fool everybody every day. She also says, but don't nobody know the real ages of my kids. But tell us the real ages of your kids, because sometimes the news get the story wrong. You're the mom. It's your child. It's not Channel 7 News, Houston, KHOU News, children. No, that's your child. So shouldn't you put the ages out there? I mean, do it make sense? And then she goes on to say, and what day this actually happened? Well, what day it actually happened? Because allegedly you came in Friday. He was leaving Friday. So what day did it happen? So you're going to end up telling on yourself like you're doing right now. She said, I keep reading how the story not adding up. Make it add up. It's not adding up because y'all won't let it add up. Just like you won't let it add up to the fact that this child was beaten, and you want to sit up here and take up for this guy that who you now blaming beat this child. Let me go and be done with that. Y'all can read that right there, but let me go and read what the Shade Room say so we can get the Cornell part in there. Now, the mother of Maleah Davis, a 4-year-old girl who was reported as being abducted last week in Houston, is now pointing the finger at her ex-fiance, the child's stepfather, who she said stepped in and basically helped raise her children, helped save her life, who the media is portraying as an evil, vicious stepdad, and now she's also doing that portraying. Sound like you're trying to save your own ass too, mama. It sound like both of y'all guilty. At a press conference today, Brittany Bowens, that's her name, and community activist Cornell X alleged that they have a video of her ex-fiance Darian Vance walking in and out of their apartment with multiple bottles of bleach. Really? Multiple bottles of bleach. How long did it take y'all to realize that camera was up there? You know, because I'm aware of all my neighbors surrounding and stuff. If I can see it, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking. I watch their house. They watch my houses. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should do. And if you ain't cool with your neighbors like that, try to get cool with them and stuff, because you don't know who you stand beside. So if something do happen, at least you'll have somebody pretty much knowing, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. Not saying they're going to know everything, but they can watch your back and you can watch theirs. So you didn't know what camera was up there? Oh, okay. He's reportedly later seen walking out with a garbage bag stuffed into a laundry hamper, according to the news station. So I guess inside the garbage bag, I said for them, that allegedly they trying to say that Maleah was in the garbage bag and that the bleach was used to clean up the blood in the crime scene. Let's just be real about it. Okay, now Vince told police last week that he was with Maleah and his 2-year-old son, which they said was 1-year-old. Back then, I guess that's why the mom said, y'all know the ages of my children. Well, if you would tell us, because we're trying to help you. I'm not trying to say that you did anything. I hope you didn't do it. Just like I said in the last video, I hope you and him didn't do it. But after looking at these child injuries, somebody got an answer to that. And how dare DCFS in Texas let this child go back to you all. This child should have stayed with the auntie or whoever this child was staying with. Child probably never had no injuries or whatever else. I mean, let's just be real. Now, when they were abducted by 3 men, he claimed he was assaulted But then he and his son were dropped off into Sugarland area before the abductors, took off with Maleah. And you would think they would want a child, unless they doing it for sexual reasons. You know what I'm saying? You would think that it would take the child, ain't nothing wrong with the child, and leave the child that's basically got a helmet on and messed up and stuff. You think they would leave that child. But, sick people do sick things. So, we'll let that go too. Now, he's being labeled as a person of interest. And police nor Maleah's family has been able to get in contact with him. How convenient. I mean, shouldn't all this have came out at first? It sounds like y'all pulling our legs, to be honest with you. Now, according to Bowens also claims that she believes Vince snapped. What you mean he snapped? He came in and saved your life. Remember, he stepped in and helped you raise your children. Do that sound like somebody that snapped? No, Miss Bo. It sound like you sound like y'all got a lot of skeletons in your closet. You feel what I'm saying? Now, she says that she believes he snapped when she decided not to get back with him after she allegedly, this is where the shit comes in right here. After she allegedly caught him sending explicit pictures to another man, which they already got a stigma on black men with this gay homosexual lifestyle anyway. Not saying that he didn't do it, but isn't it quite convenient to throw that on that man? Now, what if he didn't do it? And also, if you knew all this, why didn't you been say that? If you knew all this, y'all got to a fight before you left, why would you leave your child there with him? That's not his child. You can leave the 2-year-old son and tell the parents to come get Maleah. Why not do that? See, you can't fool the wise. You can fool the naive. You can't fool the wise, because that don't make no damn sense. I'm not gonna leave my child there with you if you done been beating my child. I'm gonna go way on the damn East Coast to a damn funeral, which I think is code word for Maleah funeral. And I'm hoping she's still alive, because all hope ain't lost shit. I'm not trying to save that. But what I'm trying to say is this right here, is that isn't it quite convenient that you would be gone and then allegedly to a funeral? Not saying that you didn't, but isn't it convenient? And then your child get kidnapped, and we haven't heard from the girl since, but they found the car and wasn't no clues of anything inside of the car. Now, who have time to sit up here and clean a car up and plant a car? The car was planted there at the rent-a-car place in Missouri City. You all know where it's at. I mean, and the lady said she looked out there, the one that was working, and she ain't lying. You can look and tell. She said she looked outside, and she see the car. When people come in, they'll look outside. Have you ever rented a car? They'll stand up and they'll look out there, someone with them little chicken necks or whatever, and they'll access the parking lot like, okay, we can give you this, we can give you that. But she said she looked out there, she never seen the car until all of a sudden the car just wind up there. So who put the car there? And where are all those damn cameras there? Because all those shops got cameras. Trust me, I know. You feel me? They got cameras all over that damn shopping center, and also all over the damn streets and stuff. How you think they've been catching people selling drugs and stuff? Come on now. So where are those camera footages at? Let's continue. Let's go and finish up also. Now, she said she called the fiance sending pictures of his penis to another man. And you still stayed with him? You still taking up for this guy? You still put that out talking about the media is really pissing you off how they portraying Darian? Sound like a bunch of hilla beans. The fight was about she had caught him sending naked penis pictures to another man, and she confronted him about being gay. Cornell said, now, don't you see how convenient that is to throw that on that black man? Not saying that he ain't, but isn't it convenient? The first thing somebody do, they don't like what they say. You gay. You gay. That's what I'm trying to say, people. I'm not trying to say anything else. That's all I'm trying to say. It's funny when people back against the wall, they'll throw your ass under the bus when they just as guilty as you is. Because what you did, if anything, you conspired. Because for you to know that this child is sustaining all those injuries, and you still allow this child to be around that guy if he did it, since you saying that he did it, you saying it now, not us. You saying that he did it. Why would you take up for this guy? Why would you say he stepped in and helped you raise your children, basically saved your life, did more for you than Jesus himself did? Why would you say the media is portraying him bad when you're the one portraying him bad now? See how people try to say their own ass? That's what I'm trying to tell you, fellas. You better get you a real one. You better get you a real one. Anyway, now, during a news conference, Cornell, who was speaking on Bowen's behalf, also claimed that Vince had a history of violence against Maleah, but the mama still chose to stay, Cornell. The mama still chose to sit there and accept this. The mama still chose to put it out in the public like this guy was such a stand-up gentleman, like he was God's son himself. You know what I'm saying? Which he is God's son. I mean, but you know what I mean. So make that make sense also. Now, This reportedly included spankings and beating that were too severe for the small child, who also reportedly had special needs, because the truth came out. You had to explain to the people, because once the news station KHOU put it out there that this child was having multiple injuries and stuff, we looked at you different then. And that's when you had to come out and do some damage control. Yes, this is called damage control. You had to come out and give us a reason. Like that old Drew Hill songs, give me one good reason. You giving us some reasons now. He confronted her and threatened her that she better not do it. So she helped him shield the truth of that abuse of Maleah from doctors. So what that makes you, it makes you just as guilty. You feel me? Forget the double standards, because we're talking about a child who is missing. The hell with your feelings today, because it don't matter. Because what about how Maleah feel? Where is Maleah? You see what I'm saying? I'm still leaving hope out there. You feel me? Hope to the end. You know, I hope they bring this angel to somebody else home, because she damn sure need to go back to that house. Let's finish up. Now, police announced Thursday that authorities have discovered the car that was stolen from the family in a Missouri City parking lot. Now, who in their right damn mind going to steal a car and drive it into the most lighted area? And when you got all these places, you got way outside Pearland, you can put this damn car. They won't find this damn car for years. You got woods back there people don't even hardly go to unless they hunt toward the fall and the winter. So you mean to tell me you're gonna take a chance of getting caught in the car, then you're gonna take a chance of being seen by these cameras or whatnot, instead of dishing the car somewhere else? Yeah, right. Now, Maleah has now been missing for about a week, and we are only praying and hoping for the best. I am also, but at the same time, we got to call the BS out. Number one, the whole story the stepdad told was fabricated from the jump. That's why I said the lies and the deception surrounding this case. That's why the video was titled that, because I was just waiting. Sometimes you got to throw some bait out there. You got to put a little bait on that hook and just throw it out there. They'll catch on to it. You don't have to accuse nobody of nothing. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to convict them damn selves, because they're going to say something, and it's up to you to be smart enough to catch what they're saying. But like I said, this video is not intended, excuse me, in no way to bash brother Cornell X. I got much respect for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I got much respect for Cornell. He did a lot for the city. He did a lot for the people. But the truth must be told, like Zero said. Let the truth be told. And the truth is this right here. It's a lot going on with this case that's not being said. And it's a lot that probably won't be said. I just find it very convenient that the mom will be attending the funeral around the same time. And people die every day. You know what I'm saying? Like Cameron said, people get shot every day, B. People die every day. I understand that. But does it sound so convenient? Like, you know what I'm saying? The circumstances. You'll be here, I'll be there. This will happen, this will happen. And as you get closer, you know what I'm saying? The smoke started to clear. Now you're really seeing a bigger picture. And that's when the story come out about this child being abused. Go look at those pictures. Go look at those pictures. That child was really beaten. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sad situation. We must love and protect the kids. The hell with how these adults feel. Whether you like me or not, it don't matter. Because, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if you was the child. Imagine if that was your child. Let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, you all stay blessed. Have a great day. Love those children. And do not hurt those children. Because if you do, you deserve everything you get. You know what I'm saying? You will have no mercy from me. And I'm sure the Most High also. Because the babies are innocent. You know, period. I'm out.